Okay, I'm going to have to start that over. That's funny. Maybe I won't start it over. You know, it's good that you can laugh, that I can laugh. Um, Laughter is good medicine, so tell yourself a joke. Okay? This is Lou. And yeah, I started the day with a headache. I mean, gradually came on and stuff. So I'm sure it's that brain in there saying, hey, give me some stuff, man. I'm not real good at doing that, you know. Um, Good morning. It's Friday. And I'm not even sure what the day is. Let me look. It's the 4th or the 5th. I have been busy this morning, and it's the 4th. You know, I was thinking about this yesterday, but I didn't ever say anything. Yesterday was October 3rd. So, for me and Jesse, that was a big day. It's a bad day. But maybe a big day and maybe a needed day. Um, October 3rd. Well, for some reason, 1991 is what's in my head, so that must be correct. I think so. Is the day we left Vancouver to go to Perryton, Texas. Mom and Dad had a couple of motorhomes they were having rented out, you know, for extra income type of deal, investment purposes, or whatever. Um, they were up in Vancouver, Washington, which is where I was. And Mom and Dad used to live there. At that time, they lived in San Jose, California. I don't think they ever really quit moving around, except for that last house and stuff, because they moved all the time. It was like a lifestyle, I think. Maybe that's not a lifestyle, a life choice. And lots of reasons, you know, so I just hated it that my mom and dad left all the time. You know, like when I got married, they moved the day after. My whole family just up and moves. And then I move up to Vancouver, and we're there for a while, and then Nancy becomes um, a morsel of, I can't think of my right words, but you know what I'm saying, is a young lady that all the guys are wanting. And so this is what was in my head. Mom just decides, okay, well, we'll just move. Well, the sharks are everywhere. You can't get away from them. You just need to take care of the ones you got. Like beat them in the head. You know, like if they're sharks and they're coming up after you, you smack them down, smack them down. Okay, I get carried away and I do need to laugh, so okay, just bear with me. Laugh with me. It wasn't funny. I mean, grandparents are important people in the grandchildren's lives. And sometimes when the children, the ones in the middle, the ones that had the children, but the children that are older, going through hell, um, they need help. And we need to help them, even if we think that we're being taken advantage of or whatever, because those grandchildren are very important people. And sometimes they just don't get what they need. I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. We're all lost in life. And everything I say out there to you people, I'm talking to myself too. You know, it's the lessons I learned. Yes, I did those same things. The things I tell you not to do. There's a reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know to tell you not to do. Love your children, even if it's frickin' hard. And try to find a way to include them in your home. And like in my mom and dad's and mine situation is, mom and dad were very strict, religious, but the word of wisdom deal, and the no drinking and no drugs and no the things we shouldn't do anyway. But we're going to do it. Everybody's going to go out and experiment. And so for those you have so tightly closed off that when life hits them in the head, their husband leaves them for dead. I had to rhyme. It's not funny at all. I mean, the things that I have been through are not fun situations. And here's the thing, you people, some of you people, I've heard it, and I know it for a fact, even myself, is, sin. We're told not to do things. And so what do we think? There's something good there we need to do. No. You're going to learn your lessons. But, it's a conundrum. I have to look that word up. It's got to be a conundrum. In other words, we're here for knowledge. Knowledge we need to gain. That's in one of my papers. Experience is the best teacher, even though not one of us enjoys pain. And then I said some people do, but they're a little bit loopy. I don't want any pain. I just want ecstasy, okay? Talking sexual. Anyway, I just can't imagine that pain would be something satisfying. So, I don't understand you people out there, and I don't want to go down that road. I'm not going down that road. Life. I'm definitely not an expert, but all these lessons do give you insight to try and help somebody. What was that? It was a noise, like on Alexa or something. I have to whisper when I say her name because she pipes right up. Yeah, I don't give my brain enough stuff. We're supposed to give our bodies fuel, and I don't know how to do that very well. And here I am this morning. There was coffee in the coffee pot. So guess what? Mary Lou's having coffee. I am trying to not have the sugar, but I still put the creamer in, and the creamer has to have sugar. But I put less creamer in. And then I used, I guess it's Splenda is what they've got, but it's the same thing as stevia. I don't know why saccharin is not good, but I read the sweetener that's got a pink box. I should go get it and show it to you. I don't know if it's over there. It's not sugar, but it's got saccharin in it. My Grandma Smith always used saccharin, but it seems to me that saccharin is bitter. And then I thought I had heard something that, but you can't repeat all that. You need to find out. But is saccharin good for you or bad? That's the thing. Splenda is stevia. I'm going to have to burp. There it came. But stevia is a plant. It's supposed to be natural. However, everything that's processed, that's the thing we got to look at, too. But I'm trying to stay away from sugar, so make good choices. But when you make a choice of a sweetener, you want to make sure it's not artificial. So I don't really know what saccharin is, but I know Grandma Smith used it. But that was when I was a little child. So I don't know. They have all this new knowledge. Like Mother took, has nothing to do with that, however, but Mother took Actifed a lot because she had allergies really bad. And Actifed did something to her insides. I mean, they made her get off of it later in life. So it must have been doing something. It was something she had to get away from. And Actifed it worked. I mean, but the thing is, when you take something to dry up yourself, you're drying everything else up too. I mean, it's got to be, right? How can you dry up your membranes, your mucous membranes, and not affect your whole body? I'm just talking, because I don't know, okay? Some things I feel like I know. Some things I do know. as in the Book of Mormon. It's a great book, and you guys need to read it. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a great, wonderful organization, and it's Jesus Christ Church, and he is the head of it. He is leading it, so partake of it. Don't delay. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Adron. Okay, that's enough of that. I just had to put that out there because it's true, people. And here's another thing. There's a lot of us, me included, that stay away from church because of the people that are there. But we do need to put it in our minds. That church is for all of us. All of us. There are rules, and there's understood rules. First of all, to become a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which we are, the members of the church in early days were called saints. If you read in the scriptures, you're going to see that. The saints, I heard that, I read that. The saints did this, or whatever. So, that brings new meaning into Latter-day Saints. If you become a member of the Church of Jesus Christ, you are vowing to live your life like him. That's a big deal. But don't let it stop you. Like a person that I knew, I didn't really know the right thing to say to her at that time, but I'm telling you people, if you think that you have to be perfect before you can join the church, you'll never join. And the big deal is, and I'm saying it's really a big deal, you go down into the waters of baptism. That is your symbol. We'll call it a symbol. You, with all the sins that you got, some people don't have them, not bad, but some people got bad ones, okay? If you're sincere and you really want to join the church, then you need to remove bad habits, but don't feel like you got to be perfect. What you need is to make that vow. Yes, I'm going to take on the name of Jesus Christ. And I'm going to add something to that. And I want to make him proud. We should have that in our head. But we don't. We don't want to scare anybody off, but it's the truth. You are joining Jesus Christ Church. So, that question, what would Jesus do? When you're making decisions, when a choice is placed before you, what would Jesus do? I mean, just have that in your head sometimes when you can't make up your mind about something. There you go. What would Jesus do? It can help keep you on that straight and narrow path. The iron rod is the Word of God, and Jesus Christ is God. He's God the Redeemer. I've learned that recently. He's God the Son, but he's God the Redeemer. He's redeeming us from the fall. Now, that fall was necessary. So there are things that, I'm not totally quite sure about, but you know what? We're not going to know everything. We don't need to know everything before the end. Take care of what you do know. If you don't know that Jesus Christ is our Savior, then learn. Figure it out. As you read the scriptures and you do it with real intent, The Spirit will visit you. You'll get cold chills every once in a while. Some of that stuff is pretty mundane, but I can't really say that since I haven't read it all. I just know that I never liked the Old Testament, but I didn't really get far into it, okay? Um, and some of the theories are back then, there's so much to that theory. There's levels. There's so many levels. Like I've said before, when you come into the church, you're a babe. You're just a babe in this church. And that's in the knowledge of your life. What is this life all about? And really, it's about learning lessons. And our job is to fight off the carnal man, to overcome the carnal man. The nature of man, and I'm saying mankind, I'm going to add the mankind because it's all of us. The nature of mankind. I like that part too. The nature of mankind is carnal. That's the way we came into this world, okay? And we didn't come into this world all mean and stuff because they're saying until you're 8 years old, you're not capable of sin, okay? Maybe you're recreating something you see and you're innocent to it. You don't even know. But the age of accountability is 8. And that's when the children in the church get baptized. They don't get baptized until they're 8 years old. And I'm not sure if I read about that to you guys, but I think I did. Because they said no. I think an angel was talking, Somebody was talking and they said it pretty plainly that it's more or less, it would be, okay, now I'm putting words in there. I was going to say more be a sin on the person who makes a child get baptized. Because they're not capable of sin, and you don't need to save their souls. They come into this world innocent. They come into this world, we all do, come into this world innocent. And I did skip over what I was talking about, the levels, the theories. There's theories that some of us knew each other before and chose to come into the families that we did, even might have chose the things we were going to go through, the lessons we were going to learn, like or some people would. This is just theories, people. And I'm kind of scattering, but maybe those who come into this world disabled or mentally ill or whatever. The innocence that came in before all them damn shots, because I don't like what they're doing. Why are they immunizing our children? How many shots do they get before they ever leave the hospital? Don't you know they're doing crazy things to our children? And then they grow up into these adults that have problems. And not only that, some of them have disabilities that will never ever go away. There's craziness afoot, people. That's my opinion. There's real craziness afoot. But anyway, okay, we'll get off that. And what I was trying to say was, in the theories of things, there's just too much for me to tell you. Because it takes that whole big old plan. That plan where there's a pre-existence, and there's this existence, and then there's a millennium existence. And then we go on and we have our different worlds that we go to. And those of us who make it to the top of the top will be creating their own worlds. Okay? Because you've graduated. By the time you get there, you've graduated. Now, When you join the church, I scattered, okay? You just have to wait for it to come around again. um, when you join the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because it's real, and you've taken an oath. You've taken an oath with the Lord. An oath is a two-way promise. You promise to do such and such and such, and he promises to do such and such and such if you live up to your bargain, which is to live your life like his, to be kind and loving, in a Christ-like manner. Not that physical, sexual crap. And I probably said it exactly the same way in a different video. You know, sex is wonderful, but it really is meant to be shared between two people who love each other. It's not meant to be shared like they're doing it out there. And pretty soon it's nothing. Pretty soon you don't have the joy that you should be having with that. Serious. It's just all in how you treat it. And if you get, it is true, wear it out. But still, you need to love your partner. There's different ways to love your partner without having to have sex all the time. You know, and then it's even more enjoyable, right? Anticipation. But you don't starve your partner either because of that. I mean, you might want to discuss that situation. This is why. I think that would make things better. I'm talking to one certain person. If he ever was to see this video, you screwed up, boy. Major. By listening to your papa. Don't wear it out. Well, he didn't wear it out, but he didn't bother telling me what the situation was. Didn't bother me. I mean, he didn't bother telling me, including me in this situation. So you know what? That fueled a fire. That fueled a fire of rejection and sadness and tears, because I was unaware of the reasoning behind your starvation of me. You understand? Do not starve your partner. Do not make your partner feel rejected. How long are they going to be your partner? How long will they put up with that hell? Well, I did. I put up with it, because I thought I was in love. But how can you be in love with someone who is not loving back? That's just not love. Because love is a two-way street, people. You might have a longing and a wanting and a... When you're young, you don't know what love is, man. All you know is there's this guy and he's cute and da-da-da. And he might not even be cute. Maybe someone just told you to stay away from him and you went after him because of that. I did that. There was a girl across the street. She thought she was all that, man. And she thought everybody loved her. Anyway, stupid days of being a teenager, you know. But they do lead you down a path of choices. So you gotta be careful. My mom and dad tried, up until even the day before I got married, they tried to change my mind. They had other people talk to me, we did counseling, and da-da-da-da-da. But boy, you talk about a headstrong person, that's me. But I didn't realize that there was a problem. I thought he felt the same as I did. But there was a problem. And I didn't mean to say any of all that, but you know, that it it can affect your whole life. That's what I'm trying to say, man. I mean, it's hard to get those feelings separated. You know, like take two things and they're stuck together. You're trying to pull it apart, but you just can't. I'm talking about your emotions and your heart and all kinds of things, and it's just not going to let go. And then it doesn't allow you to have other things, other opportunities for a family. For a family. That is just such an important thing. And we're all out there about doing what we want because we are tempted and we just do it, and all these babies are born and they don't have happy homes to go to. I mean, there are accidents, and then there are those who are just, I'll just get rid of it. We'll take birth control. If there's an accident, we'll just get rid of it. But see, that sets you up for a whole population of unhappy people. And not just unhappy. Some have been traumatized so much. And, you know, these people are all interacting with us. Yeah, I'm counting me as one that's not traumatized. But I was traumatized after I left home. Okay? I've been through a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma. And I have spent time very loose. I was one of those. But it came after being hurt so bad. And then being human, you know. Especially once you've been married and you've indulged in all that stuff. But, you know, you don't even really have to be married to indulge in all that stuff. Back then it was, I think it was a thing that just happened all through time, even though, and they told you not to do that. Well, they told you not to do that for a reason. But you don't find that out until after it's affected you, the way they tried to protect you. You know, the way they tried to protect you from. Anyway, I'm just rambling on. I never know where I'm going to go. I knew I wanted to talk to you people. And I still have the effects of my headache, and I still know that I need to give myself food. And I've got all kinds of different things that I believe about all that stuff. And here's another thing. See, I've already taken a BC powder. There's still some powder in there, though. You have to really smack it around. See, there's still powder down here in the corners. I opened it up, tip it up, put it in my mouth, and I drank some coffee with it. Something to get it out of my mouth. Because it'd be nasty. But, you know, after you take it for a while, you are able to shut that off. I can put it in my tongue. I don't taste it. I put it on my tongue, and I got my coffee and boom, boom. Or my Pepsi. It's usually Pepsi. But you definitely, even water works, okay, but water does not get rid of it immediately. It takes a little while. So I always like to have my Pepsi. And if you like Coke or any carbonated drink will help it, you know, the bubbles will help it get out of your mouth. Got my hair all popped up on my head. And see, that's another thing. I get headaches when I have dirty hair. And I have dirty hair. 'Tis true, 'tis true. Okay. So, we're 30 minutes. Should I stop? Should I say, hey, that's enough? It is, it's enough, I'm sure. You know, I get carried away. And I wish all you people knew and understood. Because, you know, it's going to take a certain type of person to listen to me all the way through, especially. That rhymed. I do have things that make me laugh. But I do also, in all my I'm appreciative. I'm very appreciative of my family and the fact that they went to church all the time. And the fact that I was able to gain what knowledge I have. Okay? I don't have everything. There's a whole lot more to get, and I need to get with that. Because things right now are just sitting and they're making sense. You know, there's things you have to learn. It says line upon line, precept upon precept. So you start out as a babe and then you start learning, okay? And I went to 4 years of seminary. So there was things discussed in seminary that might not be discussed naturally in church, in Sunday school, because, you know, it's kind of like you need a background before all that stuff makes sense. So what did I start to say earlier? It's drawing you that big picture, you know? Okay, so like in the beginning, that's what it was. In the beginning, there's this theory that maybe we chose the level we wanted to go to because there were choices. So you had to do more to get more, okay? And here's just a little teeny analogy. Let me see if I can pull it together. It's like taking a test, okay? Going to school when you have a test to take, and then you can choose, okay? I can get an A, or no, maybe not an A. Maybe I can pass this class with a C. All you got to do is be there every day, and you can pass with a C. Or you can do the work. So ABC. A is celestial kingdom, B is terrestrial kingdom, C is telestial, the bottom kingdom. That's still not hell, guys. That's not hell. That's 3 degrees of glory. 3 kingdoms, excuse me, because inside each kingdom are 3 degrees of glory. So it's got to be 3 kingdoms, the celestial kingdom, the terrestrial kingdom, and the telestial kingdom. You know, there's still outer darkness and there's still purgatory, or I'm not sure about the word purgatory. There's outer darkness, and I'm not sure about those things. You know, kind of like there's a show, Star Trek, one of those Star Trek shows, and then the bad guys are in this chamber, and they open up the door, and out they fly into outer darkness. That's what that is. Okay. I don't really understand, you know, because sometimes the outer darkness can be inside our heads. But, see, that's not a kingdom. That's a place. So, after this life, this world we were at, when we die, we're going back to that God who gave us life. Okay? No matter if you're good or bad. No matter how good or bad. We all go back to the Creator. And then, depending on things, well, there's one of 2 places. There's paradise, and there's spirit prison. Spirit prison. And there's different things about that. Because I've heard it say, you know, they're waiting for us to do their temple work before they can get out of that prison. See, I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know about that. Because I would think good people would be in paradise, right? But the people in spirit prison are being taught and given the choice, and then they're waiting. So it must be. I just don't know, because the way I'm saying it right now, it's like the only ones who can go into paradise are the ones who have their temple work done. I don't think that's too narrow of an amount of people. Now, the church has 17 million members right now. I think that's so wonderful. But, you know, if we look at the whole world, and how many people there are, then that's a minuscule amount. But it's a lovely force of people. And if we all do as we're taught, and then we be loving and kind and share the gospel, which is love, that's what we're trying to do. Spread out and reach everybody. It says that every creature, we are creatures, people, every creature needs to be taught. That's why we have so many missionaries, and they're going everywhere they can. I'm talking about in all these other countries and in places where they have to learn the language. There's all kinds of things going on out there. Good things. And you can be a part of it. And no, nobody at church really knows what I'm doing. This is me, Mary Lou. This is Mary Lou, sharing my beliefs, okay? I'm hoping that, okay, I wasn't saying that right because what I was talking about is hoping that the church wouldn't be offended. But I can't help what I say and what I think, and I do. That wasn't a good statement because I can help it, but I can't. But it doesn't matter. I'm not doing anything that's bad. I am not. I just don't always agree with some of the things. But that doesn't mean that the church isn't true. I think sometimes people interpretate things differently, and they're so busy trying to keep their little family away from the world, the things of the world, that if somebody comes in and starts, sharing that type of stuff, they don't want that, okay? And there are things, when you learn things, and then you learn more things, and more things change. The things you thought were true may not be true. They might have a basis, but you add to it. And I don't know how to explain that, people. So if I've confused you, I'm sorry. It's just because I know the underlying things. And it is one of the reasons I stay away. The church is a wonderful thing, and I should be there teaching. But I'm afraid I would teach things that they would say, you can't teach what you think. So I can teach it right now, the way I think. Because I'm free, right? Supposed to be free. Just because I might not believe everything just exact. I do believe in the Spirit. I do believe in the church. I believe in the organization of the church. But always remember that the church is made up of people, okay? And hopefully that's people that are trying to improve and be like Jesus. So mostly you don't have to fear the evil world out there. But then, what about me? If I come in there and I start teaching their kids and I teach them something they don't agree with, oh my, I can't do it. So I'm out here trying to teach you people a basis. You need to go. You need to go to church. You need to go join that organization, go to church, partake of the Spirit. They call you to do different jobs. Nobody gets paid. Not even the bishop or the preacher, as you might call them, but the bishop is just there to preside over meetings. You know what our meetings are? Come to a sacrament meeting. That's the one that's commanded that we go to. And that's because to partake of the sacrament, to renew your vows that you made at baptism. That's what the sacrament is. You're taking, a prayer is said, and you're taking on the blood and the flesh of Christ. That sounds kind of harsh, don't it? But that's what it is. say the prayer, and I read it on here. I'm not sure where, but in those scriptures that I read to you people, yes, I know where it is. It's in Moroni. It gives you, I started to say the sacrificial prayer. I wonder if that's right. You know, the Last Supper where he shared the wine and the bread, and he said, "This is my flesh, this is my blood." Well, that's what the sacrament is, people. So, you get baptized. You've now joined the church. You're a member of the church. You receive the Holy Ghost. That's a wonderful thing. You might not know it, but it is. Okay. Anyway, then every Sunday when we go to church, we have sacrament meeting and partaking of the sacrament. That's what it's all about. Okay. So here's just a little skit of what a sacrament meeting is. And I didn't even tell you the prayer. Of course, I can't really word for word. I'd have to look it up, which I could do, but I'm not sure where I'd find it. It's in 3rd Nephi. No, I just said it's in 3rd Nephi. I don't know where it's. I said it's in Moroni. It's in Moroni. Because Moroni was putting together all the records at the end, and he was about to hide them up. And his job, his dad gave him the records. His dad was about to be killed in war. They all were. But his dad gave him the records to finish up and to go and take out. He was told to go a certain place and take out certain records and write on them his account. And in those records also, or in that box, in those records, were some of the real sacred things. The rituals were in there. And the sacrificial prayer, sacrifice, sacrament. See, all those words go together. Sacrament, sacrificial. Jesus Christ was the sacrificial lamb. Think about it. So when you take the sacrament on Sunday, so let me just back up. I told you I was going to tell you a little skit of a Sunday meeting, sacrament meeting, okay? So we all come and we sit in our, I guess you call them the pews, benches. We all get a seat. And then in the back, I started to say background, but not background, behind this meeting, the people in charge that are running it, presiding over it, I'm not sure who assigns talks, but there will be people from the congregation that are going to give talks that day. Okay, it changes all the time. So that's already happened. They've been asked to talk, and they prepare to talk, and there are men, women, and children that do these talks. Sometimes it's a family that gets up there and gives talks. Okay, so you come to sacrament meeting. It lasts a certain length of time because we have so many people trying to share the same building, and they used to be 3 hours, now it's 2 hours. And it is for a lot of different reasons. You know, it's for sharing the building with other people, but it's also for making it less cumbersome on the congregation. They still want you to go home and teach your families and be with your families and share on Sunday. Do what you're supposed to do on a Sunday, not work. You're supposed to be with family and rest. And there are wholesome things you can do with your family. You just have to set boundaries. You know, like everybody sit in the same room and let's all have our phones and we're all texting and looking and scrolling and laughing. Well, that's one thing about it. At least you're together. But that's not the point. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. And then there's my dad watching Westerns. Shoot 'em up, bang, bang, kill, and rape. Tell me that's what you're supposed to do on Sunday? Or any day, for that matter. But, you know, and he did say that. He says, I will quit doing that on Sunday. But he just couldn't help himself. You know, and you're sitting there in your chair and you're bored stiff and you've already done all your reading of your scriptures and this and that and the other thing, you know. It just happens to pop up on the TV, his Westerns. And maybe that's one of the best times to watch, because they might bring out the classics or something. I just could never stand that, okay? So I couldn't sit and watch movies with him. I could not sit and watch um, bad things happening, okay? It's back controlling your environment. It's kind of hard when it's. It should be nice, but you people need to pay attention. Here he is. He can't hear, right? So he's got the TV up really loud, and whoever's in the house has got to listen to it. It don't matter. So no matter what, it affects your world. And he couldn't understand. He needed to turn that down because then he couldn't hear it. He needed headphones. That's what he needed. I would love to have gotten him some. Anyway, that's off the subject. The thing about it is, we can control what we do. We can control our environment, especially as parents, people. I think it's just so easy to go, let the TV be the babysitter. I did it, okay? I did it with Disney movies and stuff, though. But I did. I think we all do. We're stuck on that TV. We're stuck on our devices. I do like that we can learn things, so I love YouTube. I mean, they have things we can learn. I'm going to learn some different things that I can sew that people might really like in the prospect of making some money. It's just always been like that. I've always wanted to make money because I've always been a single mama. Not cool. Not cool at all. Got a headache again, but I can't be taking things. What I need to do is eat some food. And I'm sorry that I slurp. I had this avocado yesterday. I thought it was ready to eat. I'll show it to you. You see where it's cut? I could not. I cut across it like I always do and tried to twist it up, and it would not twist. It would not let go, so I knew it wasn't ripe. So then I cut it a different way. And that was not ripe. So I wonder what it's doing now. Let's see. Because avocado is not good unless it's ripe. It's got to be the right texture. I can't eat that hard old thing. Plus, it just don't taste good. And it's not meant to be eaten yet because if it don't let go of the seed. So let's look in here. So see, there's my top. But it's not ready yet. The outside green is what's ready. That's what it should look like all the way through. So I put this back on here, hoping that it will ripen instead of go bad. I love avocados, and they're good for you. They're in that list of foods that fight against cancer is an avocado, okay? Kiwi. I haven't continued with the kiwi. I had a hard time with that, but I still should. He says 1 kiwi a day is good, but he said three kiwis is better. But they're kind of spendy, man. So I don't even know how you grow a kiwi. Is it on a bush, a tree, a vine? I know I'm slurping. Bad. I don't know how to drink anything without slurping. Maybe if I had teeth, it might be different. You guys out there with teeth, see if you can drink without slurping. You probably can. You know what? I wonder if that's been there for me. Or if she just brought, oh, that's all yellow. Cucumber. Do you think it's any good, people? If I was to cut it up and put it in a smoothie, you think it still might be good? Because that's what she's been doing, bringing them in for me, and I haven't been making my smoothies. Oh, I should show you what I got. However, it doesn't matter. I don't think you'll find it. Flaxseed Ground up flaxseed is really good to put in your smoothies, and it's good for helping things move through your bowels, okay? Yes, we talk about weird things on Lou's channel. Um, so this is for those who are trying to be healthy, fight cancer, move stuff, get the toxins out of your body. So I put it on the shelf in here. I'm going to go find it. At that place where I found the dark hot chocolate, they had this really neat flaxseed. I'm going to get it because I can't really do it justice. Where'd I put it? There it is. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can show you what I got there. So that store was a grocery outlet. And so I don't know. It's like, the canned food warehouse, their supply of food changed all the time. It just depended on what they got. And they had food that was even from North Carolina, and we're talking about in Washington. Okay, ground flaxseed with mixed berries. Omega-3 and superfruits. Ground flaxseed with bits of real cranberries, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. I should have bought them all. But actually, I need to go back and see how much these were. Because if they were cheap, and it almost seems like they were, then I should have. Because then, because I'm supposed to be putting flaxseed in my smoothies anyway. And this has your berries already in it. So it says rich in omega-3s, and then it's got a big ALA, and then it says fatty acids. So I don't know what that means, but anyways, 3 grams of dietary fiber per serving. Okay, so did I show it to you already? Ground flaxseed with mixed berries. You see, I put berries in my smoothie. But there's got to be, okay, there's another way to make the smoothies too, because I put too much berries in. Because if you're, of course, if I was doing it for my main nutrition, okay, so I did not have, like my brother would do smoothies, and what he would do is a little bit of fruit and ice, okay? It still tastes really good, and it's still slushy, and he's still getting nutrients. But I was doing total berries. At first I was doing the milk. I quit doing the milk. She wanted me to get away from dairy. And I did see a difference in my blood sugar when I went to almond milk instead of dairy. I didn't quit dairy altogether, but like I would pour the milk into my smoothie. All right, I showed you the one with the berries. Now here's one with coconut and cocoa. Fair trade, and this is chia seeds. Okay, it says decadent blend, chia and flaxseed with coconut and cocoa. Now, if this is the real cocoa, that fights cancer too. Dark chocolate, okay? But anyway, let's see what it says. It says fair trade, chia and cocoa, rich in omega-3s, and that ALA fatty acids, 3 grams dietary fiber per serving, 1.5 grams omega-3 per serving. Okay, let me make sure I showed it to you. Okay? I need to find that receipt, and I bet I threw it away. I can't remember, because I did have something picked up I was going to buy, and it was $5.99. It was probably a real good price for what it was, but that's not in my budget. But $1.99 is. So I sure as hell hope that's what it was. But the extra benefits. So I wonder if I can find out about the cocoa. Products help support safe working conditions in our chia and cocoa farming communities, as well as help these communities earn additional funds and invest them where they are most needed. This scrumptious blend provides da-da-da-da-da, which I already told you all that stuff. Okay, what I want to do is go to the ingredients. Ingredients, this is organic ground chia seeds, dried coconut, organic ground flaxseed, organic alkalized, okay, I understand. Cocoa powder, organic evaporated cane sugar. Contains coconut, no preservatives. No preservatives, guys. Manufactured by, these people are in New York. The Hain Celestial, how about that? The Hain, Hain, Celestial Group, Inc. I like that. So he's in the celestial world. That's the best place, okay? And I know I talked about all that and then I left you hanging. And it was just a theory anyway. But like that, maybe we chose what world we wanted to go to. Because I heard in an institute class, and I don't have anything at all to back it up, okay, that Jesus Christ not only died for us on this world, but for 10 worlds. And maybe they're all at different levels. In other words, those of you who chose to live on earth chose to have the option to go to the celestial kingdom. But you also chose to have the troubles here, the things that you have to overcome in order to reach the celestial kingdom. We chose to come here to earth. But I think there are other worlds where they didn't have to go through the crap we're going through. Like war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Here's what war is good for. It's good for creating hate. It's good for making our young men and women go out and kill and maim other people, and also be killed or maimed themselves. War is good for population control. I can't think of the other word. You know, getting rid of the population is what they're doing. But what they're doing is they're getting rid of the population and they're ruining the ones who live. How do you get rid of all that? Hate. And kill. Let's kill somebody. When that is the big sin. Murder. Murder is the worst. There's one that's worse than murder, I guess, and that is to know God and deny Him. Okay? That's the only thing worse than murder. And that bottom kingdom that I was talking about, the celestial kingdom, that's where the murderers go. That's where the... okay, I want to put in there haters and cheaters and stuff, but that might not necessarily be true. But you have to have the spiritual mentality of Jesus Christ, you know, to be getting anywhere. So yeah, there are people who delight in the misery of others. Those people are going to go to that bottom kingdom. They're not going to the terrestrial or the celestial. There's a whole lot of factors that play into everything. It's like I said, there's a whole lot to learn, and people that you come into the church, and then there's all kinds of people who come in at different levels of understanding, and they're teaching. Well, that's why they tell us to go by the manual. I really had a hard time. I taught a class in Relief Society, and it was excellent. And inspiration came to me right there in the class, and they saw it. And what did they do? They put me out there teaching their children. I guess that's a great, what am I wanting to say? In other words, they thought enough of me to let me. And I wasn't really teaching, I was teaching music to the children. And I wasn't I was teaching them songs, okay? And then I had the hardest time. And I did teach classes, I remember. Okay, I taught one class. I did so good. And patting myself on the back. You just never know what you can do, people. The children are home. It's Friday. They get out early. Wow. And I'm sitting here still talking, but I did get something done today. I got my ad in the paper for the house. It's going to come out next Wednesday. Hi. Was not expecting you guys already. My. I'm sitting here just talking
It's
away.
Friday.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember they had everybody loose. I'm sitting here talking on my channel.
Okay, you too.
Any old who, I guess really I should go. I'm over an hour now. And I do need to go walk too. How cold is it out there?
It's not too bad.
But I would need a sweater to go walking, right? Right.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Thought you were talking to me.
I was talking to you.
It's 58
Huh?
outside.
It's 58?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Actually,
Okay, well this morning I was really cold and I asked Alexa, I said, what's the temperature inside the house? And she says 65. I'm going, okay. I went and found my blankie that was down here and brought it up to my bed and put on some clothes. I went to sleep in a nightgown instead of covering everything. Well, that meant my legs were naked. I was cold. Anyway, so I fixed it. And I guess I will get up and go do something else. I need to,
Oh,
yeah, I can't believe it's that late
My
already.
turn.
I have your thing and you can have it. Do you know how to do it all? Do you want me to plug it back in? I know you know how.
and how?
Yes, I figured you don't mind if I use it when you're gone. We have to have our electric gadgets. I'm talking we, me too. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. You know what? I'm going to try to wait. Oh, that was 222. That would have been a good one. But I'm going to wait on 333. Who scared you?